One.
Oh, there it says the stream is live.
There we go. Hello, everybody. It is 7:00 on Wednesday. What do we do every 7:00 on Wednesday? It is Whiskey Wednesday. There it
Whiskey
is.
Wednesday.
Whoop, whoop. I'm Jody Bates, founder and CEO of JB & Co., powered by Keller Williams. And we are super, super excited. We've been doing this for 4 years now. We changed from Wine Wednesday to Whiskey Wednesday because it was appropriate. And I'm excited to have good friend Van is on with us. Van, the inspector. And of course, I got my right arm, Brett Ray. Brett's got some deals going on right now, so he'll be popping in and out of this. Van, first of all, thank you.
No worries.
For joining us. It's been a minute, and we have been making sure that we get you on, and we've got all your information running across the bottom there. Just for some housekeeping, everybody, this is live. It is live on YouTube. It is live on Jody Bates Sells. It is live on Facebook pages. And Van also, Inspector Van has it running live on his social media handles. So we are rocking.
I hope so. I tried.
Right.
That could be a problem.
I know you have your technical expert, Maria, over there assisting you, so I'm sure you're fine.
I was on your personal.
She's trying. She was on your personal. You got to go to Jody Bates Sale. There she is.
There we go. Okay. Rock and roll. Good stuff. Okay. So what are you drinking tonight? What do you got?
She brought me, she knew I was a little under the gun of trying to get this. She brought me a bottle of 2 Stars Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Ooh, bring it close. We want to see. Bring it close to that. Okay. 2
There we
Star.
go. So, you know what? It's going to go down smooth. It's going to go down plentiful.
There it is. You
There,
know my good one.
Smoky. There you go.
I do love my old Smoky. My cookies.
Cookie
What
dough?
is this? Cookie dough?
Cookie dough flavor.
It's fantastic.
For the love
This
of God,
is my
I gotta try
favorite.
that.
This one, let's just say they know me there.
I got to try that one. I've never tried that.
Yeah, this one is way good.
Okay.
So y'all, if you have comments for the inspector, you have questions for the inspector, what I need you to do is just type them in there. I will be monitoring, my admin's monitoring, and we're gonna rock and roll on this one. Here's what I love. In doing this business for 4 years, I come across a lot of people, and it's really important that your vendor partners go into complete alignment with who you are, values in your business. And Van and Maria both do that. Van, you have met me right where I'm at and where my clients are at. You're always a professional. You show up, and you always have.
That's a positive. Just show up.
Yes, showing up is great. Showing up is fantastic in this business. So we just have some real basic questions, and you are going to be a regular. I love the videos you do. I love the way that you present yourself to the public. And like I said, it's completely in alignment. So I'm going to give you the floor, and you introduce yourself, and then we'll start going through some of our questions.
All right. Simple. David VanVurst. I show up. There you go. So no, David VanVurst. That's my name. I go by Inspector Van, and reason being is, and most people will hear my wife chattering in the background, and nobody can ever pronounce my last name. And so when I met my wife at a restaurant, I said my name is Van, and she was the hostess, because I can never they'll never say VanVurst right. So I'm like, the name's Van, put it down on the wait list. And she said, you're Van. And from that day on, realistically, I was Van. So people that know me call me Van. It's an old habit that I struggle to break, which is actually a good problem. Whenever anybody calls me, I always answer the phone. Hello, this is David VanVurst. Being the professional part of it.
Right.
But if they know me, they'll go, oh, hey, Van, it's, oh, yeah, I got you. Which is great about it is because when solicitors call me, and they don't know who I am, they'll ask for David to go this long. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea who you are. So it's a way for me to kind of screen my own calls. Yeah. Hey, this is so-and-so from, wherever. And I'm like, oh, he's not here. I'll take a message. This is Van. So it's nice. So that's how I got the name Van. And everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's talk about what's your why for becoming an inspector? Why inspecting?
So It was, I'm going to give you well, we got an hour, so I guess I can give you the long version. We're not going anywhere. We're just drinking. When I was a kid and I moved to Georgia when I was 23, we bought our first house in Gwinnett. And if people know termite pest control in Georgia, huge problem. And one of my neighbors was Mike Tyndall. And he was one of the owners of All Good Pest Solutions.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody in Georgia knows the Tyndall family. Tyndall gets them. He was my neighbor, and he's like, "Hey, we need a sales guy. You want to come work for us?" And I guess they were just roping me in, which is fine. I was young at the time, didn't know any better. So I moved to Georgia, started doing that, and literally I trained with that company 2 months in residential pest control, 2 months in commercial pest control, 2 months in termite treatments, liquid, 2 months in Centricon baiting stations treatment. Wow. And then I went into sales training. And so I started in like a March, did all the way around to the following April. And they said, you know what, we're going to cut you loose and you're going to be outside sales.
Oh, and wow.
I did that I started in 98 and I did outside sales from 99 to 2000 to November of 2012. So 14 years. Yeah. Okay. I loved it. One of my mentors, Perry Tyndall, who now is retired, they sold the business. He lives out in Lake Hartwell with his wife. Amazing family. So 14 years, I was outside sales. I was inspecting houses, different scale, but I love the aspect of inspecting houses. I joke with Maria and say I'm kind of a little OCD when I go into places. We go into Henry's, and everybody knows Henry's, the Louisiana Kitchen down in downtown Acworth.
Yeah.
This is something you guys would never notice. The women's bathroom opens in, the men's bathroom opens out.
A little OCD there, my friend.
And so I'm like, what is that? So anyways, so I worked at All Good up until November of 2012. And in the meantime, most people don't know is I started down the path of opening a Sky Zone indoor trampoline franchise. And I did that here in Kennesaw, Georgia. So we built that out. We owned it from 2013. We opened up February 22nd, 2013, all the way until COVID happened. When COVID happened, that closed down. And I'm like, yay, COVID. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, what is your passion? What is your why? What do you love doing? Marie and I love working together.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, let's take a couple months off, figure out our why. What do we like doing? We know we like working together. First 3 years was very dicey.
Yeah.
She's a corporate America girl, crosses her T's, dots her I's. I was outside
love
sales.
That about Maria. Yes. Love that about Maria.
Great quality. But I'm outside sales. I get like 90% of it done and I was on to the next sale. Is what it is. So we figured out how to work together after those first 2.5, 3 years. And so we realized we want to work together. So that's where the Phoenix comes from my logo, Phoenix Real Estate Solutions.
Fantastic. Yes.
We were rising from the ashes of COVID, closing our businesses and everything that went to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. And we started rehabbing houses. Yeah. We started short-term rentals. Mm-hmm. But when we would get there, every house we went to, like, hey, we're putting an offer on this house. Well, I would go into the inspection part of it, looking at all the things I got to do. What's the problems? What is this? And she would go into the numbers crunching and of that. So we had our swim lanes. Yes. So we did that. And the end of 2020, 2021. And with that, she's like, you know what? I need to get my real estate license. And I said, with that, I just love inspecting, finding the problems.
Yes.
So that's my avenue of where I want to dive. We're still going to rehab houses. We got a short-term rental in Panama City, Laguna Beach area. I've helped one of my old team members at Sky Zone. He's got one down there now as well. And we've done a handful of houses. We just love it. But inspecting is where I always kind of fell back into.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going on, what's wrong, what's right.
Yeah.
So that's why I became an inspector.
And you do it really well. When you're out with our clients, you are the first thing when we unleash one of our vendors on our clients, we need to make sure that our vendors know how to talk to our clients. And what you do extremely well is you're really able to gauge the understanding of the client. You can go deep or you can keep it surface. Some clients want to know the details. Some clients don't. And you do a really good job of doing that mirroring.
That comes from all good, and that comes from learning and I'll be perfectly honest, I hate sales. I've never enjoyed doing sales. And back in the day when I was doing termite pest control, I'm locating an insect. And if I would go to people's houses and I would draw a graph of the house while I'm talking to them, and they'd look at me and they're like, swear to God, this was my sales pitch. I'd draw a graph of their house with my debit card, draw a picture of the house, and they'd look at me as I'm doing it. And they're like, that's my house. They finally put it all together. That's my house. And I'd look at them and I'd say, look, if I can't draw a picture of your house and figure out how to kill a termite that's, this big, I shouldn't even be in your house. And they would look at me and they would kind of laugh at me and say, yeah, let me just get rid of these for you. It's going to be, this is the price. It's simple. We're done with this. Or how much more information do you want? Because some companies would go in and spend an hour and a half with presentations, books, flyers, balloons, ribbons, whistles. And I'm like, I'm doing something simple. So I get that from them. How much information do you want? You just want to know what the problem is, or do you want it more detailed? So that's kind of what it is.
Well, and that's exactly what you do. And you do it really well. And I think what you said, Van, is the key is I'm not salesy. You're not salesy. We start with service. We start with being able to give people a value and something that they need. And that takes its natural progression. So that really segues nicely into what makes your company different. And I know there's a few things about your company and the way you do business that I like, but tell me what you feel like makes your company different.
So it's funny because I've thought about this a lot over the past probably 90 days. And you've run across, being an agent for years, there's a lot of inspectors. There's a lot of companies that do this, multi-inspector firms, 20 inspectors, huge companies. And this is kind of the battle I've got to fight to get in with offices, to get in with agents. So I thought about this a lot lately. And the one thing I always think for me, and this is just kind of the way I am, and even in the sales app, I know that I don't know everything. And I'll be the first person to say that. I know I don't know everything. But what I do know, coming from my sales background, I have avenues or I have resources that I've literally created to where if I don't have an answer, I'll tell you, I don't know this answer. But give me an hour or give me 3 hours, I will have the answer to you. And I'll be damned. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to show up. So I think that is my biggest nugget for me is knowing. Sometimes my wife will get mad at me. I say, sometimes I realize sometimes I'm an idiot in some things and I got to understand what it is. And if I understand where my deficiencies are, I can get better in those to make my overall product as better as I can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll keep talking on that, but
but that's what's important is you got to know your lane. Like you talk about, you and Maria talk about that a lot. You got to know your lane. And the last thing you ever want to do, and Brett and I talk about this all the time, and Mark on the team, and Paul, our lender, I know what I'm really good at. I know what Brett's really good at. I know what Paul, the lender, is really good at. I never step into that. When I have a question about easements and I start looking at a legal description and I'm calling Brady from Thomas and Brown. That's what's important. The other day, Van, I called you because I was like, oh man, I don't know. I don't even know how to read this. Who wants a watershed low flow something letter?
Yeah.
I call you. And that's what's important.
And you know what I learned about that? 2 years ago when I did another inspection at Decatur, and the agent called me and said, hey, I need you to sign off on a letter. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he described it to me and I'm like, give me a minute. And I called a plumber friend of mine and said, what is this all about? And he explained it to me and I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. And then I reached back out to him. I'm like, really, you need to have somebody else do this. And this is why you need to have the plumber do it because he's got that certification. He's like, oh, it makes sense.
Yes. And again, you know what your lane is. And that also shows your professionalism because you're not afraid to say, no, whoop, stop. I got to bring somebody else in. I got to make that phone call. A lot of times new agents, new people in business, they're so eager to get the business that they inflate, they balloon, they think that they have to say yes to everything when in reality, that just makes you look a little dumb.
Yeah.
So you have to know your lane.
That was my old company, Perry, one of my mentors when I was a kid. He would always say, not everybody's your customer. We don't want all business. And it was just for those reasons.
Yes.
We don't align with everybody.
So incredibly true.
Yeah.
This is a topic that I personally take super seriously. I usually gift an inspection to all my new construction because buyers are convinced I'm buying a brand new house. What do you think? I don't need to have an inspection. It's brand new. I see Brett nodding his head over there. Yeah. We have both experienced some things. So I would love, you just did a video on this and it was absolute perfection. I would love for you to touch on this.
I've got another one coming out probably Friday or Saturday. The agent's going to meet me at the house and the buyer is going to meet me at the house. But I actually went to do the sewer scope because just my time on Friday, I'm so compressed on time. So I went and did the sewer scope early. And while I was there, I could check a handful of things while I was there just to kind of speed up the process. New construction. She's got a roof truss there's 10 nails in a roof truss and only 3 of them are actually in wood. They've got shingles that are ripped, completely ripped, flashing that's messed up. I'm like, this is the time for the builder to fix it. Because once you go 2, 3, 4 months, they're going to say, oh, you know what? That's not on us anymore. She's going to have major roof issues if this stuff isn't corrected before she gets in. New construction, absolutely get inspected. And I always say, if the builder wants you at the house, that's a huge plus because they care about what they're doing and they're going to fix stuff going forward. I'm dealing with a gentleman, Ray England, on a townhouses he builds. And Tara and another guy is the actual owner of the company, but Ray does the project manager. Phenomenal company, phenomenal guys. They built the townhouses in downtown Ackworth. And he's like, yeah, come take a look. I'll show you exactly what I did. I'm like, perfect. Those are great. Versus the one like, I don't want you going in the attic. Well, I wonder why.
Right.
I'll ask you guys real quick. I just happen to be looking at real estate stuff when it goes wrong, but I don't know if you've heard about the new construction story. I believe it was up in Tennessee. 3 years that their sewage line was not hooked up to city sewage. And they would have to go out every once in a while with the water hose and spray off their driveway.
Yeah.
And they
I did one
from the city.
Yeah.
And they were never hooked up and nobody ever scoped it just to make sure that the builder hooked it up.
Yeah.
It was the blame game, but they did get it resolved, thank goodness. But it can go horribly bad sometimes.
Yeah. I did a sewer scope last week that company drilled through their sewer line going into the septic, and it was all caved in. And it was 9 years ago that they ran cable to the house and didn't know it. I'm like, well, your grass is really green in this area.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah. So you just never know. Yeah.
Well, and I think here's another really big point is as an agent, when you suggest bringing in another professional, it gives you as an agent that extra, okay, the agent isn't, because I mean, new construction, being an agent, I mean, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
That's the misconception. The truth is we're babysitting the entire process.
Yeah. Because
it can go very, very wrong. It can have delays. And every time there's a delay as an agent, you need to be asking for more money off. You need to be asking for more concessions. And you really, otherwise, as you know, a buyer, you're just like, oh, well, that's just the way it is. It's actually not.
No.
You need to have someone who's going to bulldog and advocate for you because they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you, yes, we owe you some closing costs because we're 60 days late. Yeah. They will never tell you that. No. Super critical.
And you just spent $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 on a house. You want to make sure it's right. There's nothing going to be wrong with it.
Exactly. Huge investment. What is the biggest mistake a buyer makes when purchasing a home from an inspector's perspective? I'm really curious about this. I got lots of opinions on it, but
I say for me, the number one biggest mistake, and there's a handful of them, but the number one is not reading or understanding your report. Because everybody will kind of just thumb through it and just breeze through it sometimes. Oh, this isn't a problem. I can fix this or whatever. And they don't understand some of the bigger issues, like the sewer scope scan that I did last week where there's water all in the lines. I'm like, they could have easily just said, oh, there's just water in the lines, no big deal. It'll drain itself out. Not thinking of it, an agent out of your office, Jennifer Cowan, is like, no, we need to get this further investigated. This could be, and that realistically saved them thousands of dollars of having to dig up the sewer line, repair it all, and all that stuff. So just not reading it, understanding it, or if you can't make it to the inspection, at least doing a conference call with the inspector that inspected the house, so you understand it.
No, I think that's fantastic. And I really like the way that you do your reports. There's all different ways reports can come through the pike as far as to the end consumer to understand it. Yeah. What I like about yours, you have digital, you have printed, and you also include video. Yeah. You're the first inspector that I have met that does video, not just for, hey, here's the problem that I wrote down. This is what I mean by that. But you also go a step further saying, in the future, you might want to look for this, or this is your gas main turnoff. This is your water main turnoff. And I can't tell you how invaluable that is. And the feedback I've gotten from clients is, I loved when Van explained that to me. I went back and watched it a few times. So good job.
That goes back to my old All Good days again. When you had a chemical spill, stop the spill before you do the cleanup. So for people at their house, hey, where's my water shut off if I have a pipe break? Let's get that shut off now, and then we can worry about cleanup. But most people don't know what they don't know at their house. They buy a house, they look at all the surface, but they don't get underneath and the nitty gritties of it. So yeah, hey, this is the size of your filter. This is how you change it. This is where these things are. We rehab, everything's fixable. So I'm telling people, hey, this is your problem. This is how you fix it. Or this is a problem. This is a big problem. I did one the other day that had 6 different foundation cracks. Yeah, all crawl space, solid poured walls, probably 3 foot haul, all the way down, cracked through the footer to the ground. Like, so this is a problem. I was just very fortunate. And you know this, being agents, we have to, I don't want to just come right out and just, oh my God, the sky is falling, which that's not my job.
Right.
You guys talk to your clients, and the agent at that time, great guy. He's like, you know what? I don't want this guy to purchase this house. He's a young kid. He's hell bent on buying it, but I don't want him to. And I'm like, thank you. You give me the green light to say, look, and I didn't even tell him you can't buy this house because foundation cracks. I basically told him, hey, this is what your rehab costs are, the house to rehab it. And we all have those basic formulas. This is your rehab cost to rehab it. What are you buying it for? And then you put those two numbers together. What's the aftermarket value? You are so far upside down. It's not beneficial for you to buy this house.
Exactly.
And I did the math version versus going, holy shit, all the foundation's cracked. You can't buy this house. It's going to fall down.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
And that's part of, agents would lose their minds if their inspector did that, because that's part of the lane thing. And absolutely, when you get the green light and because you have the rehab background, and you can say on the 70-30, your ARV is this, and this is what you should buy it for. And with this much in rehab, might not be the best house for you.
Yep.
Hugely valuable from that. It's just, okay. Meryl says hello. My clients love me. Hi, Meryl.
Yeah. I actually just did something for her sister the other week, and a wonderful lady buying a place in Indian Hills.
Indian Hills is fantastic.
Yes, they had a pool in the backyard that they filled in, and the other people didn't realize it was a pool. It was funny.
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh. All right, we already did that one. Okay, what's our next one? What can a seller do in a difficult market to make their home sell faster at the highest value? This is a tough one because we're in this market right now.
You're in this market, and I'm going to bounce ideas off you guys and let you think. And I mean, for me as an inspector, the handful of things that I would say that are just, oh my God, at least pick up your stuff around the house, clean up the outside around your house, trim the bushes, maybe put some new pine straw down, or clean up some of the old pine straw. This is something I don't know. I would refer to you guys, or I think her name is Kelly, the home warranty lady. Do they make home warranties that transfer to buyers? I don't know that question yet.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Carrie Smith with the home warranty group.
Yes.
Yes. Here's the beautiful thing about home warranties is you can purchase, even as an agent for your sellers, you can assist in purchasing a home warranty that covers things during their time being listed and then can be an added benefit that carries on and kind of runs with the home. Yes, you're absolutely right.
That would be, so I actually Monday, as we talk about other things, other services, Monday, I've got a conference call with Internachi and Elite MGA, my insurance company. They're actually going to start coming out with home warranties for the inspectors that we can add to our services or our reports. I don't know all the details of it yet, but if it's anything like our buyback program, the math is just so great for them that they can offer it at an extremely discounted rate. So that could be possibly a great thing coming down the pipe for me.
I would really love for you to explain your company's buyback.
Yeah. So Internachi, we've got a program that if you're an Internachi member, a certified inspector through Internachi, they have a program where it costs me, honestly, I'll be perfectly honest, it costs me $5 per house. And if you think about the math, there's probably, I think there's like, last time I heard there was like 26,000 Internachi home inspectors throughout the country. If everybody does one inspection a day at $5, how much money is that?
That's some change.
That is some change. So the buyback program is, if I go out and I do an inspection and I completely screw everything up and your buyer's in there and a month later they come in and say, look, my foundation's cracked. And if I would have known this, I would have never bought this house. Internachi will go back out, look at the house, go, you know what, you're right. And we'll buy the house back from those people for what they paid for it. We'll fix it. And then the agent that sold it can go back and resell the house with the repairs made. So it's basically, I call it super insurance, to where you know, hey, if the inspector screwed something up royally, you're already in the buyback program, that you're protected.
I have never heard this from any other inspector ever, and we've been doing this for a minute. So
you're not reading my reports.
No. I read your report. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's in there. Yeah. I put a video in the report for people.
It is a fantastic program. And friend to friend, put that on a banner, put that on a flag, put that on the side of your car. That makes you different.
Yeah.
So it really does.
Yeah, I've got that on my website, all my stuff that I do. Yeah. And there's a lot of the larger inspection firms that, and it's funny because Internachi's like 25 years old, 26 years old, humongous company with continued education galore. They're actually post-secondary U.S. Department of Education recognized. Wow. And then you have the old hat, which is ASHI, another great organization. They're the old guard, and then Internachi's the new guard. So the ASHI, I don't believe they have anything even similar to that. Okay. So those are things I kind of stay away from that part because I love the continued education. Those are Internachi inspectors that I can call on a daily basis if I wanted to. That they're my resources.
Well, and what I love about that is you've got the pulse. You know what's happening, and so you're over.
You see the 218 home inspect right there at the bottom, Duluth, Minnesota. Phenomenal gentleman I met at our conference in Philadelphia, Atlantic City. And I rode on a train with him for an hour, just shooting ideas off each other and learning from each other. And these are part of the individuals that we shoot ideas off each other and say, hey, we're worldwide. And we can reach out to each other.
I love the network. That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, you got some wife love. I love it. I love it. Taking notes for any to-dos that come out of this. Awesome, Maria. You keep doing that.
She knows I won't remember. She has to take notes.
So I know I had asked you this question when you were in the office last time we had spoke.
Yeah.
But say I had a seller that just wants to be done right out the gate. And I was like, hey, buddy, can you come and do a pre-inspection for my seller?
Yeah.
See what needs to be fixed.
Yep. I can do it. Typically when I'm just running out there and I'm not documenting anything. I'm not putting anything. They're walking around with me. I'll do like call it an investigative inspection where I'm going to give them an hour of my time, $125. I can come out and say, hey, this. And I'm not sitting there with my iPad. I'm not flying my drone everywhere and all that other stuff. I'm like, these are going to be your issues that when another inspector comes out and be done. Now, if you want me to do a whole inspection and say, hey, this is everything soup to nuts, that's your problem, I'm going to be there probably, 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yeah. And I think that's hugely valuable. So when you're going out there for clients that are trying to make their home sell faster for the highest net, you know, sometimes, and I do this a lot when it comes to staging, it's easier for the news to come from someone else than it is to come from us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say good cop, bad cop.
No, it's true.
Maybe. It keeps us in alignment with our client when we bring in vendors who are specialists in their lane, who give their recommendations, and it just helps the validity, as opposed to, well, you're an agent. Well, okay, we're agents that know a hell of a lot, but bringing in professionals is always super important.
I had that conversation this morning with a lady for my home preservation program, where her mom has lived in her house for 52 years and her basement was getting water in it. But her basement is full of stuff of 52 years. We've all seen the seniors that they don't want to throw anything out. Their parents were raised during the Great Depression. That's their mindset. I was the bad cop of saying, hey, look, Barbara, we've got mold growing in your house here because of these reasons. We've got water here. We have to get all this out. I was the bad cop in that. And I get a conversation today going, my mom is throwing all this stuff out. Thank you so much. I'm like, I'm glad she's doing it. It needed to be done. Well,
and that's where the teamwork comes in too, because then we're able to take care of that, because our goal truly is emotions. We are, we manage emotions that get us into great deals, great relationships, and to the closing table. I mean, anyone can be a robot. I mean, that's why they've got things like, you know, the Z word and, you know, the iBuyers. There's no human contact. There's no expertise. There's no listening ear. There's no soft place to land.
No.
That's literally our job. And we get to bring in vendor partners.
Yeah.
So do you have a menu of services that you can share with your contacts? So I've got your contact information. I would love, Maria, if you could put in the chat, I will bring it up. If you can put in like your website, or because you have got sewer scopes, you've got drone, you've got last time I saw you on the roof doing a video, I was like, dude, focus. I don't want you falling off the roof.
If it's a ranch if it's a ranch house relatively flat, I got no problems jumping on top of that. Anything else, I will just fly my drone, simply for the reason I'm not scared of heights, but it's the sudden stop that I have a problem with. So yeah, like I'll be good. And a lot of times I can see enough from a ladder, be a drone, that I'm good. But like I said, relatively flat, I'll jump on. If Maria puts it, my website is just Phoenix Resolutions, resolutions.com. And it's got a plethora of who I am, what I do, all my services, from home inspections, the investigative inspections we talked about, radon, sewer scope. I use my infrared camera to do all my stuff, which there it is. Beautiful. I just got a new toy today that I really love, my Wallabot. And it actually not only finds studs, it finds water lines, it finds electrical lines and walls. I did an investigative inspection 2 weeks ago for Ray England. He had another townhome in downtown Woodstock that they've got water outside the bath or the shower. Couldn't figure out how it was getting there. Camera, I'm looking at it. I'm like, this isn't right. It's not coming from here. And come to find out, I lean back to the guy who's at the house. I'm like, hey, when did you hang this TV? 6 months ago. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks. He nicked the water line in the wall when he was hanging the TV with the studs. He's like, oh my God, you're right. The water line comes right. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I want to buy one of those. So
yeah.
So
that is
my preventative maintenance program for seniors that age in place or business people, where I go out is with the home inspector in mind. Change your air filters, clean condenser coils, drain your hot water heater, termite inspection, roof inspection. And I'll do all that with a low-grade home inspection every time I'm there, checking water lines, plumbing, making sure we're not having water leaks. What I'm also doing is making sure we're correcting problems before it's a $10,000 repair. Well, you know what? It might be an event boot that is a $400 fix, and we can just take care of this now versus 3 years down the road. You've got roof decking, all sorts of issues. So my preventative maintenance program is a huge advocate for the seniors aging in place, or business people love it.
Yes. No, and I think, again, that is not something anyone else offers. You really do have, you have a very intuitive way of looking at your business, not just as a kind of like JB and Co does. We're not buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. We invest in our clients, we want to become like their
Yeah.
CPA, their doctor, or their attorney. As a real estate professional, we want to make sure that if they're thinking about something to do with their house, that they're thinking about us, and then we're thinking about you. Jeff has got a question. Do you have annual subscription plans?
Yeah. And I say annual, but realistically, you just pay every quarter I come out. It's $295 for an average house for me to come out. I supply the air filters. I supply the stuff to clean the condenser coils, whatever I need to do. If you have small little ancillary things while I'm there, like, hey, my door won't shut, or I need to change a lock or whatever, I give myself 2 hours at every house that I go to. My main thing, it might take me an hour and 15. And if I'm there, I'll fix this. I got a nice little old lady, Becky, that lives in Dallas, and she's got a ranch, but one of those little rooms above the garage. Her landing was LVP, but it was all loose. It was moving, and she's in her late 70s. I'm like, I'm here. I got the tools in the truck. You got in this flooring. I literally changed her flooring out on the landing in 20 minutes, and now it's not moving. When she comes down the stairs, she doesn't have to worry about it sliding. So I'll do little things while I'm there, but $295 for an average house. I supply everything, and you don't have to worry about a thing.
What is that called? Is it a special
It's just
name?
my home preservation plan program.
Home preservation. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's on my website there.
That is so good.
Yeah. And I think that'll honestly be kind of the wave of the future of what I'm doing and what other people. I get people from all over the country that Spectora, my software I use that you talk about the videos, they did a podcast with me about a month ago that I'm getting ready to put out on my social media where I talk about it. I get people from all over the country texting me and calling me, asking me about it. How do I do it? And I'm like, man, I probably should have franchised this before I started opening my mouth. But
there's still time.
There's still time. But you know what?
my
It's for a
friend.
good cause, and people are doing the right thing for the seniors because,
Yes.
As Maria told me today, if you're 50 and over, you're a senior now, which I'm not very happy about. There's a lot of seniors out there that are going to need this type of service.
Yes.
And a lot of our kids don't know how to do it, which is a whole completely different story. But anyways.
That is a completely different story. And what I see here, Van, is I think it is, I get woo-woo here, but I met Maria, your sweet wife, through Girl Getters, which is our
through Becca. That's another Becca. Becca.
Yeah, and Becca, good job, Becca. Always thinking about her connections. Yeah. That is Becca's true. Besides having incredible design taste, her superpower is connecting good people.
Yep.
So, what I'm excited about for JB and Co. is our continued affiliation with you guys. I really, really love this program that you do for. I mean, it's for anybody. I mean, I think about myself. I'm the one who's in charge of all the house stuff, and quite frankly, I don't want to do it. I can just sign up with you and get that done and check that list and not have to worry about it. I also like the idea of gifting this to some of our perhaps SRES clients, senior clients, and having that as an annual, a year thing, and that's their gift at closing. So this has been fun. Yep. I super appreciate you.
Has it been an hour?
I kind of try to keep it to 30 to 40 minutes just in case more questions come in. And then YouTube gets mad at me and they will give me a little not a good one.
Gotcha.
So,
you're good.
Awesome. So Brett, do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up? You all good? Fantastic. We will see you
coming to one of my homes tomorrow. So
I appreciate it with a crawl space. A thumbs up on that one. And I'm out in the country, so I'm sure there's going to be a possum or an armadillo in there.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
You've got that background, so you're able to manage all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I'll make another video. Hello, darkness, my old friend, as I'm climbing in.
Right. We've got Becca coming in, letting us know that she loves bringing people together. And we love
she
you,
is.
Becca.
That's a great picture, too, by the way, Becca.
Yes. The fire of Becca. She's just, and Becca, put your information in the chat. We keep talking about Becca. Rebecca Fiduciv is an incredible interior designer, local here to Kennesaw, Georgia. She does do consults through Zoom nationally. She has the pulse of what's happening with style. She also is an incredible stager. I use her personally for JB & Co. She does all of our staging, vacant staging, whatever we need. And again, she's part of the awesome collective of the family here that we have at JB & Co. So
we went to her house for the Christmas party. I didn't want to touch anything.
I know.
If I broke something, I was going to get in trouble.
She's got such a beautiful, beautiful
I know.
space. And then Jeff says, thanks for sharing the good info.
Yes.
Good stuff. All right. Good deal. Okay, guys. This is being recorded and it will live in YouTube under Joni, Joannie Bates, B as in boy, ATES cells, SELLS. All the details are in there. There is 4 years of videos in there. So go ahead, watch the hair color change, watch all the things change. It is kind of a hoot. So thank you. Thank you, Van.
I'll throw it out on my social media as well. And probably this one and the other podcast, I'll just add right to my website for the people to get to know the inspector section.
Yeah. And this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becca, for putting your info in there.
Yes.
Please reach out to Becca. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow, Brett. Thanks, bud.